Those of you who think you can never forget the partner who left you and can never recover from the pain, pay a little attention to what I am about to say. There are numerous instances where people who suffered breakups like you, even those who suffered worse, have recovered. Remember, there is no reason only you should not recover. Only you should continue to suffer the pain. It's irrelevant whether the relationship you had with them was for 5 years, 10 years, less or more. Any special qualities your partner had is irrelevant. It's irrelevant how they treated you. It's irrelevant what their family was like. Their looks, the way they talk, their voice, their qualities, and any other special things you like about them are all irrelevant. The memories you had together, the places you visited together, and how much you miss them, whether they make you feel something is special that you didn't feel in previous relationships, none of this is relevant. You can create the conditions for you to recover, that is, to have the kind of quality life you had before they came to it. No longer suffering from the memories of them, no longer depending on them. None of the things I talked about earlier are relevant, but you think they are. You think you can't get out of your suffering. Thoughts and feelings like that are generated automatically in an addiction. That's the truth about this. What you see as the truth and what you feel as the truth are entirely lies. Those who recover from the addiction know that. Any of those who are listening to this are in this predicament, remember that even though you are suffering now, maybe going through the entire night without sleeping, having no appetite, being unable to pay attention to a task, being unable to do the things you were very passionate about before, only sleeping for a very short time when you do fall asleep, sometimes waiting until it's morning to send them a message, waiting for them to call or message you, plotting various plans until your head hurts to get them attached to you, suffering from insufferable pain. It's your mental and physical health that gets affected directly by that. Thinking too much about your loss shifts this into the level of depression, and when this goes on for a long time, it leads to other problems. All this is because some person unexpectedly broke up with you or changed. If someone suffering from this pain is listening to this, they are most probably experiencing what I'm saying here more or less. There may be some who have made up their minds and are in the last stage of their recovery too. What I need to say here is that if you start thinking right from the moment you listen to this video, this voice recording of mine, you can straighten this up. There is no need to suffer anymore. You can recover if you understand this theory. There is no need to suffer in vain because of some person. I focus mainly on the path to rise above relationship breakups, the path to break your mind free of it and restructure it fast and recover in most of my videos. That's what I continue to talk about. For that, it's no use just following no contact or using any other techniques without proper knowledge and awareness about them. If you want to recover, a proper understanding of the concepts I talk about in these videos is paramount. Most of the time, due to the absence of a source for that kind of awareness, believing the nonsense that comes to their minds, the nonsense that stems from their addiction, people suffer and suffer before gaining a proper insight somehow and recovering. There is no need to go that far or suffer that much. Just think, if it took a year for you to recover, how much would you have lost at the end of that year? How much would you have suffered? How much would your mental and physical health have declined? Remember, that's the time you could have spent doing something useful. That's your life. Maybe your ex wasn't affected by that at all. Whether they left you due to no fault of yours or it was entirely your fault that they left you, you can recover. What was meant to happen, happened. For whatever reason, it's not important anymore because you are not the only person who faces breakup. Whether you recover or not depends on using your awareness practically. If you can't use awareness practically, if the mind is not put into practice, recovery doesn't happen. That's why people suffer for months and years. So, what makes it not possible to use the awareness practically in a situation like this? The reason for that is a person with a healthy mind is capable of using their awareness practically in certain situations that they face. But for someone caught up in a breakup, someone facing a breakup, or as we say, someone facing an unexpected abandonment or change, it's not possible to apply their awareness practically. That is, they are being controlled by something. If somebody is in a situation like this, if they are listening to this, you are like that too, aren't you? No matter how much you want to wiggle free of it, how much you understand the reality of the situation, what you hear, what you do, whatever anybody says, the truth is that you can't do it, right? Can you do it properly? You can't. Can you? So remember, you don't get to control yourself the way you want. No matter what or how you think about that, you can't control yourself the way you want. There is something that controls you. That's the addiction. That is, perceiving your ex as an attractive person, getting feelings about them consistently in your mind at some point, having them stored in your mind, a condition which you become dependent on that person is created. Then, for you to get on with life, to do the daily life tasks properly, they have to be available. If they are not around, you start feeling like you don't have a life anymore. They are so outstandingly special to you. This manifests in many ways. For some people, the love from their ex is felt more intensely. For some others, it's the kind of sex life they had with their ex, how they used to behave during sex, sometimes presenting as sexual jealousy, thinking about someone else doing it with the ex, thinking about not being able to do it with them anymore, and thinking of not having done it with them enough. Some people suffer from that kind of regret. So people suffer in different ways like this. That mentality is caused by addiction. The addiction has occurred the way I explained earlier. When someone who uses drugs gets addicted to them after prolonged use, no matter if they realize it's bad, it's pointless, wastes their money and jeopardizes their life, no matter who says what, how, no matter how many rehabilitation programs they participate in. There are some who start using again once they are back from rehabilitation. No matter what, they need it, right? They can't get rid of the addiction using what's right in front of their eyes practically. Their body and mind are driven by something more powerful. So what such a person hears and sees and their awareness are of no use. They continue to use drugs. Drugs affect the body in a certain way, and being addicted to a person has a different kind of effect. But both are addictions too. In a breakup, no matter how much you argue with them, what kind of problems arise between you, when it's confirmed that your partner is stepping out, everything gets thrown out of balance when it comes to the point that they are going to step out or they are going to change. However, if our brain gets a message saying our partner is going to change from the person they used to be, going to distance themselves from us, if it gets confirmed or if it gets to the point that they are going to get attached to someone else, we start experiencing this misery. You don't know until it happens. You may be under the impression that you could do fine even without your relationship until this happens for real. It's only when it happens that you wonder what has just happened. I can't fathom this. Don't think that you are the only one who suffers from this. You think that only you are suffering from this pain and the others are quite happy. Yes, some people are happy and content too, but there are enough people in this world who suffer from pain like that, or even worse pain due to breakups. It's because you can't use this awareness practically that you can't break free of this. So using this awareness practically means the essence of your story, what you can take out and use from your story. That is, why did we break up? This is the decision I should make now. Why did this breakup happen? This is the best action to take now. This is the best method I can practically use right now. What must be done is to use what best suits the moment you gain this awareness practically. The problem here is the inability to do that, right? The inability to use awareness practically. In other words, if you were in an incompatible relationship, the way your partner was, the harm that will come to you in the future, the harm that has come to you in the past, that person is so special to you. Some people destroy their own lives to someone who is worthless and puts their lives to waste. There are people who realize this at the end when they are utterly helpless, after suffering for years dedicating their lives solely to the relationship. I'm telling you, you don't have to go through that kind of ordeal. Try to realize that just as you are listening to this, try to figure out why you can't use your awareness practically. If you do the things you need to do correctly and follow the method correctly, regardless if it will work or not, you will recover. You don't feel it today. You don't even see a hint of being recovered. You keep feeling you won't be able to get out of this. But when you do this practically and go ahead, regardless if it will work or not, keeping this awareness, you will not even realize how you rose above this, how you came to a process like this. The majority of those who recover are like that. They don't know how they recovered. Do you know how you got addicted? Do you know why you can't live without your partner? You don't. Do you? You didn't anticipate something like that to happen, did you? But it happened to you, didn't it? Recovery is like that too. That's the way our mind works in situations like this. So understand what I'm saying and do what's best for your situation, because your life is the top priority. Your ex may be enjoying their life even though you keep suffering and crying. That's what happens most of the time. While one party suffers to an extreme, the other doesn't. The other party does quite well, maintaining its own level. Make sense of your situation, or try to make sense of it. If the breakup has happened, it has happened and it's over. There is something you can do right now that best suits this moment, and you must do that. Don't let your addiction prevent you from doing that. Understand these facts. You tried to make sense of this after being separated from that person. You did various things. Some of you may have suffered for days, weeks, months and years. You may have tried to understand this by suffering like that. You may have chased after them and begged and pleaded and tried to understand this that way. Some of you may have started the relationship again, fallen back to the same place and tried to understand this that way. So you may have experienced all this as the majority who face breakups do. You have done all that practically, right? Some have suffered as much as possible. If there is a way for you to recover for sure, it's this. That is, by understanding this, the best thing you should do in your situation, for your breakup or the situation of your relationship, the best action you can take in this situation, that's what you must do. Most of the time, if it's a breakup, if your partner has left after breaking up, by understanding this properly or getting proper professional help, or at least listening to my videos, the best thing for someone in a breakup is the no contact method. Most of the time, you don't follow the no contact to wait for them to return, but to get to the position for recovery. Remember, unlike trying to recover without understanding any of this like you previously did, doing it by listening to something like this and understanding it is remarkably practical, remarkably effective. It works without a doubt. If you understand this correctly, it will work without a doubt. Because unlike how you did before, when you do it after listening to something like this, you analyze this better. You look for more suitable things to do. You do this with better awareness and more guts. So it works. What you tried earlier for months and years may have not worked, but this works. So you can select what you think is relevant and suitable for you. What you should do has been explained in detail in them. What I wanted to do here was, if you are in an incompatible relationship or facing a breakup, you can get rid of the delusion of not being able to break free of the pain and set yourself free. I say with 1000% certainty, you can break free. It doesn't matter even if your ex is the best person in the whole world. What's needed is the percentage you can use your awareness practically. That can be achieved when you listen to this kind of program. Each individual's method depends on their particular situation. If you are listening to this on YouTube, you can easily pick the video that suits you, and if you are using another platform, you can still find that too. In addition, if you want, you can buy and listen to the specially prepared program through my website to gain the necessary knowledge and understanding to fully recover from the beginning and alleviate the pain quickly. I will leave the link in the description. So, if you found this video valuable and gained useful insights, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I am Nandhimal Edrisuriya.